xDefiant is finally here, and I have for you the best settings to be using in xDefiant. Now, if you want to see more content on this game from me, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. If any of these settings do help you out in any sort of way, click that thumbs up button. With all that being said, let's get into the settings. Starting off with gameplay and UI, my gameplay input, I play on a controller, which is right here. I got paddles in the back so I can jump right here and then slide cancel with this one. And then here's the front of it. We got some control freaks to help with my aim. So yeah, that's the controller I'm working with. My field of view is a 110. In COD, I usually play on like a 115 and I don't enjoy the 120. So I'm like, you know what? I'll lower it just because it's a brand new game. 110, it's not too high, not too low. It's kind of like perfect. So I have been enjoying playing on this. My ADS field of view is consistent, which is basically affected in Call of Duty. And then independent is right here. The constant ADS field of view actually visually reduces recoil. So it's very, very helpful. The rest of these settings that you see right here, I honestly didn't touch any of these whatsoever, but for auto sprint, I did turn this on. So I had this off initially when I was playing, and I realized you actually have to press on your left stick and then go up, similar to attack sprint in Call of Duty, in order for you to run full speed. But when you just have auto sprint on, all you gotta do is just simply go up on the D-pad and you're running maximum speed. So less wear and tear on the controller, and it's just a millisecond quicker to run maximum speed. So I highly recommend turning on auto sprint. It's very, very helpful. For sprint interrupts reload, I have this off because if I'm like taking damage or something and I kind of want to reload and get out of the way, I could do that. If you turn this on, you're going to try to run away and reload, but you're just running away. You're not reloading. So make sure this is off. I think this is really, really crucial. For my slide behavior, I have tap. Again, it's just a lot easier on my controller just to quickly tap my back paddle right here, and I could slide. It just makes it's faster, more consistent. So make sure you have that on. For auto reload weapon, this is on. So if you run out of ammo in your weapon, it'll just automatically reload it instead of just not do it where you have to do it manually. So make sure that is on. Auto weapon switch is on as well. So if you run completely out of ammo in your primary, it auto swaps to your secondary. So you don't even need to do it and you can just continue your gunfight. So this could definitely save you in some gunfights and whatnot. Auto grab ledge, I had this off. This is basically like auto mantle. That is so annoying when you're trying to jump shot in a gunfight or something and then you're mantling and now you're dead. So turn this off so you could, do it yourself whenever you need to. Walk behavior is hold. I don't touch any. Oh, my HUD limits here, I have it at 15:15. So basically my mini map, my ults and my ammo, all that's more towards the center of my screen. Because when you're playing the game, you want to be looking at the center of your screen, looking in front of me. So when you got to quickly look at your mini map or see how close to your alt, you don't have to look too far away from the center of your screen. So it's just easier to get information and then look back at the center of your screen. You could zoom in a lot more than this, but I thought it was just way too much. So 15:15 was perfect. It wasn't too zoomed out, wasn't too zoomed in. It was just perfect for me personally. So I liked adjusting this in Call of Duty as well. So make sure you do the same. The rest of this, I didn't really mess with. I like having the enemy health bars on so I can kind of call off if people are weak. I got my FPS and my ping display on, so I can see that information up top. And yeah, it's gonna wrap it up for the gameplay and UI. There's a lot here, so make sure you guys get all that down correctly. Since I play on controller, we could skip the next setting here, mouse and keyboard, and we can go straight to controller settings. I play on default for both stick and button. Again, I have these paddles in the back, so I can just keep my thumbs on the analog stick, do all the movement, jumping, sliding back here without having to take my thumb off the analog stick to go press X or circle and things like that. I can just keep them back here, which is great. So that's why I play on default. My aim assist is standard, or you could disable it, which you don't want to do. Make sure that is actually on. For your aim response curve type, you got a few options here: standard, linear, and then reverse S curve. For those of you who are familiar with Call of Duty settings, reverse S curve is dynamic, which usually is the best one to be using. So that's what I went with here. And then, standard and linear are just like Call of Duty's. I have the reverse S curve because it's super OP in COD. I kind of figured it would be the same in here. I haven't had too much time to experiment due to the matchmaking being bugged out. So I'll have a more in-depth dedicated video on this specifically once I get more to some experience, but so far so good with this. For my horizontal and vertical sensitivity, I actually play on a 40/40. I find these a little confusing, but I think it goes, this is like a 4/4 in COD, and then this is a 5 in Call of Duty. But I ain't gonna lie, the 40 already feels really, really high to me, so I just kept it at that. It felt like maybe like a 6 to a 7 in Call of Duty. So I don't know, it felt really, really high, and I thought I was pushing it with this. I was already at like a 35, so a 40 is not too fast and not too slow. I think it's like right in the middle, which I really, really like. My ADS sensitivity multiplier, low zoom, is a 0.75, just like the high zoom. You must decrease this, like get it down to where I have it right here, because when you're ADS and you have a different sense, and the one is way too quick. When you have a 0.75, it really slows it down so your aim assist can just stick on the enemy and you're missing like little to no shots, which is really, really nice. So this is one of the most important settings in the game, at least in my opinion. You gotta lower it a lot. My dead zone, I just left default 1010. You don't really need to change that. The rest of my settings here, I didn't mess with except controller vibration. Turn this off. There's no reason for your controller to be vibrating while you're playing the game. Believe it or not, it's actually messing up your aim, and you just don't even know it. For those of you who play with it on, trust me, turn it off, spend like a week or two with it off, and you're gonna thank me, I promise you that. And that's gonna wrap the controller settings very straightforward and quick. Next, we have my audio settings, which are pretty straightforward. My main volume is 70. I thought 100 was just blasting in my ear, so I had to knock it down a little bit. My dialogue, sound effects, and then the UI are all 100. This is all valuable information. This is when the announcer's calling out of someone as their ult, or when they're on the objective, something like that. And then obviously your sound effects is like footsteps and gunfire and things like that, which is super important. So you want this cranked. This is like the most important information. And then the music, I turned this down. That was also just blasting in my ear. It's only at a 5, which I honestly still I can't even hear it at all. So again, these three are really, really important. It gives you the most important audio information, so that's why those are cranked. And then the less important, like the music, is turned down. Voice chat I have on. Make sure you go public if you actually want to talk to people in the other team, because if it's on private, you're only talking to your party, I believe. So default is private, and then turn that public, you'll be good. Microphone's on. I have open mic, and then look, I think you should see my mic. Or no, you won't be able to see it, but I just have an open mic. I just mute it. So yeah, that's literally it. There's no like secret settings to change bass boost, bass load. There's none of that. So yeah, the audio settings are very straightforward. Then we finally have my video and graphics settings, which I'm gonna be honest, I kind of changed it all, and I like what I see. I have a great picture, and I'm also getting fantastic frames. So I'm not gonna go too crazy in depth, because honestly, there's just not much for me to say on it. Just make sure you have the VSync mode disabled. Again, a lot of it is more on the lower side of things, just so I can get really, really good frames. And yeah, a lot of it's just kind of medium to low. So you guys could pause it, copy those down if you need to. If there's anything you see that I should change, go ahead and let me know, guys. I'm not the smartest when it comes to the video and graphic settings, but I put this how it was, and I've had 0 issues. Looks great. I'm getting fantastic frames. So again, I'll go all the way up so you can get all those down. And then one last thing is matchmaking in account. You guys all need to make sure you change this. So crossplay is always on, but your input based matchmaking is on, which you do not want on. You want to have this off so you're playing against both keyboard and mouse and controller players. So as you know, the matchmaking is kind of, it's a little messed up. So in order to find more players, adding the keyboard and mouse guys, turn this off, because if it's input based, you're only going to find people on controller. If you want that, I guess go ahead, but I don't mind playing anybody. So I got the crossplay on. I'm playing all players, PC and console, and then I'm also playing keyboard and mouse and controller players with this off. All right, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. Here are my language and accessibility. I don't care for subtitles. I don't need the dialogue stuff they're talking to at the beginning. I didn't change any of my colorblind stuff. I think it's already fine how it is. I didn't change none of that. So again, if you want to copy this down, if there's something you see that you need, go right ahead. Other than that, that's gonna wrap today's xDefiant best settings video. If you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns about anything I went over, just let me know in the comments. But that's gonna wrap it up. I spent a lot of my time here because of the matchmaking being bugged. I hope it gets fixed. And that's pretty much it. I'll see you in the next one. You guys, let's stay safe. Have a great day. I'm out. Peace.